Hey YouTube, what's up? This is the reluctant Nabi back in. This is the news on the news. And yeah, still keeping with that African thing. You know, just getting down like we always do. Now, this is gonna be an interesting video. You talk about some comeuppance. Ah, guess what black women trying to use now? The Chinese. But before we get into that, let me greet everybody real quick. Hold up, boy to the bang. Mabar Kanu. Awesome, there's a big gym. Well, we go eat you up. Ni hao, man. Sally gonna jump over the Habari. Assalamu alaikum and shalom. Alright, let's get with this. How is this feeling a little something? And what we have here, get down with the boogie. Get down with the boogie. We got African women complaints of being left holding the Chinese baby bag. Yes, you heard it straight from the Nabi. Oh, remember I said that all of the unrighteous women were going to get their comeuppance? Remember I said that all of them simps, wimps, and sambos, the triple S crew that keep telling us that we must stick with them or die alone? Remember me telling you that how they had some loose screws? Alright, now, in this story we're going to get a couple of different takes. One from the government, and one from the people. Guess who ain't playing with this thing? It's the people. Guess who's trying to, extort the Chinese? It's the government. And that's why I'm like, aha! The guy from The Simpsons. Alright? And everybody wants you to be sorry for them. This is another case and story from the 304 BAW Brigade. Alright? So So let's just kind of iron this thing out. And I want to show y'all a comparison and contrast. So if you will, follow me through this one. All right. And I know that those of you that are really trying to find out what's really going on, that you are going to do this, right? So I will say this right up front because people aren't going to the end of the video. My email and my PayPal me link is in the description box. So hit me up there. All right. Now let's get into this real quick. Let's get those thumbs up, like, share, subscribe. When you subscribe, click the notification bell. My PayPal me will be in the description box. And y'all know what time it is. The channel needs help. I understand if you don't want to help, and I understand if you can't help. But for those that are willing, all you got to do is click the thing. But even if you're willing, make sure you take care of yourself and family first. All right. So share my videos as much as you share other people's videos with me. Because I'm telling you, there's a few people that share my videos, but most of the people that's sharing a bunch of other people's videos with me are not sharing my videos with them. I can tell. All right, they show this. All right, so just do me a favor. All right, just do that. If you share others, if you can't share. All right, if you don't want to do either, well, it is what it is. All right, we've just been this way for a minute. So, all right, so let's move on. All right, the story is by Tobias Jolly Onwini. All right, and Mr. Onwini or Mrs. Onwini, Tobias. I'm going to go with Mr. Onwini. All right, Kirindongo, Oyam. Several other women in Oyam district are struggling to raise their children sired by Chinese nationals after the fathers abandoned them. The Chinese nationals who fathered the children are employees of Shinho Hydro construction company that is constructing the Kuruma hydropower dam. Work on the SHE 2.2 billion hydropower plants started in 2013. The project is expected to be completed by the end of 2018. So let me explain to y'all what happened here. The African women start doing their little thing. You know, they were like, I'll get busy now. Get down with the Chinese now. They bring the money. Cause it ain't funny. We're gonna forget our culture. We're gonna forget our ways. Cause we know the Chinese have money from days. Did I say wrong? We know the Chinese have money for days. That's what they thought now. Yeah, can I get an aye? Alright, here we go. So Miss Yaqing Adero, 20, a resident of Aruklong, Zambia Parish. Alright, let's get into this story. Basically, this woman got knocked up with a Chinese man, alright, who fathered her 1.5-year-old daughter. She recounts that in 2015, she went to Kuruma to look for a menial job. Okay, this is what she said, right? She went to look for a menial job, but ended up in a relationship with Yang, who promised to marry her and take her to China. Now, how many people understand that this woman is probably straight up lying? Anyone that knows anything about these women that's going after these men, and the Chinese culture. Alright, the Chinese ain't talking about bringing an African woman to China. Now let's talk about the women of these cultures. These women saw cha-ching, cha-ching. And we're talking about the American cha-ching, so we ain't trying to do no kind of... But that's how we say it here when they talking about that money. They saw the dollar signs. Alright? And they thought that they were going to just be a part of the money. All they wanted was the money. When them children start popping out, though, now they got a problem. Alright? Now, I'm going to show you three contrasting views here. The women, how the government decided to handle this, what's happening on the flip side with when the black men, either of America, with the Afro-Indigenous of America, the black men of Africa, when we go abroad, and what those women expect, and how they come at us. See, as soon as men of any other color, and this gives me, when I read Genesis, the 3rd chapter, it gives me a great understanding of the so-called black woman. That for a different thing, for anybody that she thinks will worship her or that she can use witchcraft on, and I'll explain this in detail when using the book of Enoch. We're going to have a discussion about it. I'm going to do a live show, okay, today. So I'll put out the hit piece. I've been tired of the jet lag, y'all. But when this woman returned to her village, all right, she was frustrated. So she left her ways. She left her customs. And this is what I'm saying. That the black woman, it seems that it is endemic, or maybe an epidemic, are saying that they recognize that people see them for the sexuality that they possess. They used to, and it used to be a part of a beautiful package. But the black woman has corrupted it to such a degree that that is the only way people see them. Because that's the only way they present themselves, trying to get that dollar. Alright? So, trying to get that dollar from the Chinese. Alright? This is where she messed up. So, she's trying to get that dollar from the Chinese. Or the white American. Now, think about this. When we talk about the African woman, they always say they're looking for a white man or somebody other than somebody of their own culture. This presented with some serious problems. And it leads me, this story right here led me to believe that we are more indigenous, the Afro-Indigenous people, the so-called black people in America, that we are just as much not a part of the people of Africa, with the exception of a few people within the continent, and so congruent to this land here. And we'll talk about that for a minute. In a minute. So, she was broke and stuff. Now, the problem with the pregnancy and her getting pregnant and him going away was he was probably giving her a little money, not all his money, but more than she was getting in her village to do whatever she wanted to do. See, remember, I kept saying money is a tool, right? It isn't a tool that provides happiness, joy, or anything. It's just a tool. So if you have happiness without it, then you don't really need much of it. But if you're never happy, it's because you're always thinking to get over on somebody. Then you constantly need the tool to get over on somebody, and then you'll do whatever you can to get that tool because you're never happy because your heart is corrupt. And this is what's going on with the black, dare I say, African woman. All right. So she carries this baby for 5 months. He's pregnant. He leaves, and now she has a problem. Oh, y'all, but this story gets juicy and worse all at the same time. Now, let's break something down here. They asked her about the child, right? Who got her pregnant? And this was in the midst of her pregnancy. What she did was she tried to hold it in and lie. This tells you that she didn't act. The Chinese guy didn't talk about marriage or anything. Think about this. If she would like, well, this Chinese dude promised to marry me, and we discussed this, and his name was Xinhua from Shanghai province in China, and so he went back, and so I'm waiting for him to get back and stuff like that, right? Then this statement would not have happened. We asked about it in vain. They asked, how did she get pregnant? What's been going on and stuff like that? Why is she pregnant when she went back to the clan? The clan council sat her down, but she only said it was a fellow worker from Makono. But we were shocked finally when she delivered a Chinese baby girl. Miss Colo says. That means she lied to them the other 4 months until that child was delivered. And then when it was a Chinese baby girl, that's when all hell hit the fan. The mother says this: it is difficult to raise the mixed race child because of allergies to the local food. She only feeds on biscuits and soft drinks, and when we serve her local dishes, she develops rashes all over her body. Did y'all catch this? Soft drinks and biscuits. She can't even eat the local African foods because of who the father is. Y'all get that? The baby cannot eat the local food because of who the father is. Her mama black, so I guess it shouldn't matter because her mama black, right? No, it matters because most of the DNA and stuff like that, and most of who you are comes from the father. Oh, people like the 23 krona is equally divided. No, most of who you are on such a level as people cannot understand comes from the father. Remember, he is the creator of the seed. When a woman lays up with a man, she is choosing to carry his seed. She didn't create the seed, he did. It is 100. That seed is 100% him when he shoots it up into the woman. When that seed unites with the woman, it's still 100% seed. The seed is giving a part of itself to the woman to unite to become a human being. But the seed maintains the essence of mostly who the father is. That's why that baby can't eat nothing. The father's seed is always the dominant because it's his seed. Now, what happened is, now the mother and father are saying cha-ching dollars, right? Instead of seeing their daughter as a 304, which is what she was. Because if she really had a plan with this Chinese guy, all right, if she really had a plan with this Chinese guy, then she would have named him in the beginning. She would have said what the plan was. Other people would have known about it in the community, all right, and whatever happened would have happened. All right. No. Now, I'm going to show you the contrast. Now, as we breeze through this, take a look at this. Take a look at what she tried to tell the people. Take a look at what the company tried, or what the tribe tried to do, the council, right? So they want to go after the Chinese. Okay, these people want to go after this company and negotiate with them, right? They want to reward the 304 behavior of these BAWs, Black African women. All right. They want to reward all the damage that they have caused to their own culture and marriages and stuff like that. Even married women and stuff like that. They want to reward all the strife and turmoil these black women have stirred up within their own culture trying to chase after some money. And let's not get it twisted. The government, all right, the government are saying this. The Chinese should help these poor girls raise these children. We shall sit and negotiate with them. But when this fails, legal measures will be taken. What legal measures? How are you going to force somebody else to follow your culture when you don't force your own women to follow your culture? How do you do this? All right? These girls understand this in the underline. Fate of fatherless children may not yield fruits. Sex at Kuruma is being traded on the basis of willing buyer and willing seller. All right, this is coming from Mr. Simone Kazati. These girls knew that these Chinese nationals had a lot of money, that they would milk them for all they had. Whoop, there it is. Whoop, there it is. This is what these women have wrought upon their community. Um, the community sub county, all right, said on 7 occasions they have written the Ministry of Gender and Labor and Social Development to intervene, but have received no response. Right? This is what they did. Mr. Lunyu says cases of prostitution and defilement has increased with the fact that people that these women thought had money came into the country. The level of sexual transmitted infections have increased because the young girls and married women, the young girls and married women, the young girls and married women are trading sex. And this has resulted into divorce, domestic violence, and many other crimes. All right. And so they did a crime against the men, and now they're saying that the men, in their reactions to what their wife have brought home to them, are doing crimes instead of having punished the women for their wretched and treacherous ways. In other words, the women are being um they're looking after the trying to get money for the women to do the crime, and when the dudes get exact the punishment that the women should get for the damage that they're doing to the community and family, the government is calling them criminals, saying that what they're doing is crime. All right. So they're looking for a way to support these women in their treachery. This is how effed up these governments are with these white mentalities and the European mentality that no matter what the black woman does, she shall not be held accountable for it, no matter how much destruction it caused on the continent as a whole. And I'm saying the continent, not just this community, because that's just exactly what's happening. In contrast, Afro Chinese marriages boom in Guangzhou. All right. The only reason it may not be till death do us part, here's the contrast, is because the Chinese government are not going to give the men permanent residents. Y'all catch that?
This is Chocolate City, a district of Guangzhou that is home to tens of thousands of African merchants, as well as Uyghurs, Turks, and Chinese economic migrants. Most Africans come to Guangzhou for trade. By exporting cheap Chinese goods, such as clothes and mobile phones, they can make big money. And it's in this bustling trading hub where African men are meeting and marrying Chinese women in untold numbers and starting families with their mainland brides. Apart from their expertise in running small businesses, Africans are bringing their music, food, and religion to Guangzhou. The Post recently spent a day hanging out with Debautja Sky, a garment trader by day and Nigerian hip-hop artist by night.
It wasn't an easy role, for an African like me to come across a Chinese lady. Having her on my side really helped me a long way, because China is not a bad place to be, but the most important thing in China is that the language barrier. If you have a way to overcome this, that could be very awesome for you. So I think my wife really had an impact to my life. Number one, in my business. Number two, in my social life in China. Then I decided before she get to know me, I let her to know my talent.
As more Africans and Chinese mix, their children are integrating into society. The Huiling Integrated Kindergarten in Baiyun is attended by African, Chinese, and mixed children. Unlike their fathers, Afro-Chinese children born in China have full citizenship, allowing them full access to public schools.
像我们幼儿园的话呢，我们一直在努力在做我们的融合教育，我们是为了服务孩子，不管他是出于哪个国家或者什么肤色。
Amina has a Chinese mother and African father, and exemplifies for some the seamless integration of Afro-Chinese children in Guangzhou. She speaks fluent English and Mandarin, can write Chinese, loves Hello Kitty, and her best friend is a local Chinese student. She, like most of the mixed children in Guangzhou, is under 10 years old.
真呀真呀真呀奇妙，奇妙就像一个符号，一不小心就会音符号。
However, while children like Amina are integrating, their parents have a tougher time due to the language barrier and the likelihood of a diminishing African population in the region due to slowly rising labour costs and the difficulty in becoming a permanent resident, according to a Hong Kong anthropologist who has studied the African migration. And eventually, Amina's generation will reach adulthood, and they too will have to decide where is the land of opportunity in which they can best succeed.
All right, so y'all see and understand the contrast here. All right. Now, even with that, they kind of adopted. This is the European way of doing things. All right. And this is kind of what the Africans are bringing to China. Along with their religion, not the Chinese religion, their religion. See, this is what the men do. But these women are willing to follow the men. All right. Now, back to another different contrast. So when men go somewhere, when the black man goes somewhere, he is treated with dignity and respect. When people come and meet the black woman where they are, they don't have the respect and dignity, because the first thing they do is 304 themselves out to whatever man comes into their country, no matter how wealthy their so-called black man is. they will still prostitute themselves out to anything with lighter skin. Because, wow, the Afro man is proud of his darkness. We understand that we are blessed with a gift from the Most High, our melanin. It's the black woman that has always been the bane of our existence because she sought to be over us. She is already like us. She wanted to be over us. Whereas every other woman wanted to submit to us. Even when we bring our own culture and religion and everything. As a matter of fact, the Chinese better they better get them visas straight so that they can have permanent residency. Because if they do that, in about 20 more years, they're going to be rivaling the United States in track and field and everything. All right. Now, keep in mind that in the video, the culture that they spoke of, that was not the African culture. That was the Afro-American culture. Hip hop is the Afro-American culture. We're the ones that's spreading the spirituality and the one and the one Most High around, the adherence to the commandments. We're the ones that's putting that stuff around. All right. Now, so we get back to the local leaders. So this is the follow-up story, right? Local leaders are trying to negotiate to help the women be adulterers, 304s, home wreckers, spread disease and stuff. All right, because when you reward the behavior by negotiating with the other people who went back, got treated, and living their married life, and when you reward these women, they're going to continue to do it and get worse. See, but these people don't see it. It's because they think, oh, they're in power and they're going to get that Chinese money. They're going to get a cut off the top. You know, like the black women do us in the United States. And how the government used them to extort money from the man. However, Ugandans, the people have reacted differently on the same development. Jonathan Ellen Kamara, okay, to my babes of quiet, Oyam, that is what happens when you confuse a Chinese for Mzungu. Think they are loaded. All right. A Mzungu is probably a rich person. All right. These women thought they were loaded. Kathleen Oka. Some Ugandan women think that through getting another color is different from our men here. Men are men. If he's not useful, he will. If he is not useful, he will dump you and move on. Even in China, there are women who look after they own children. Women always learn or plan for the next move on how to look after our children. So she's saying it's a plan. It's the next move to look after the children, to try to extort money from the company. Alex Efti, even those Chinese children are struggling. Let them keep those gifts for remembrance. The fathers may come from them later. All right. Bayakuma Godfrey. Are there no fellow Ugandans in the north? Question, huh? So there weren't any fellow Ugandans that had money in the north? Suffer more, and next time you open your legs, you will think twice. Whoop, there it is. My favorite right there. When Dr. King said, I fear I've integrated my people into a burning building, I wonder if he knew how much of an impact that the behavior of the BTN was going to be to all melanated women. With that said, I'm out.